Hey guys, what's going on? I'm back again. I've got the 12 valve right here. This video, we're going to be torquing the head down and running the valves. Y'all will notice in the video, I've got different clothes on. It's a different day, and I'll explain it all once it's all done, once the video's over with. But without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, y'all. Well, welcome back again. First thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting in new push rods. I had ordered these. The old ones have been in there since 1993, I guess. But I'm just going around. I'm putting some assembly lube on each side of the push rod just to make sure that nothing starts up dry and nothing sits there and rattles without any lubrication on it. So we're just going through, making sure everything has a good amount of lube and everything is happy. And we're going to go ahead and put the rockers back on after we're done with that. Make sure they kind of seat decently well. All right, now that we got that out of the way, we are going to start torquing the head. I have some head studs in there. Don't ask me what brand. I don't really remember. They're not ARP. I could not spend ARP money. But they're, just as good. Well, not just as good, but you get what I'm saying. They're good enough for the money I spent on them. But we're doing it in 3 stages. We're starting off at 45 foot-pounds, 90 foot-pounds, and then I go and break out the half-inch ratchet here in a minute to do 125. And we're going in a pattern starting from the inside, working our way to the out. That is common specifications on how to torque. Now, the torque I got for the head was actually the head stud manufacturer's recommendations. But we're still going in the original way. But yeah, we're just working our way around. Y'all probably going to start seeing me sweat and me look over because it is absolutely pouring outside. And that shop is a sweatshop at this moment. But yeah, we're going to keep getting it on, and I'll shut up and let you go. Man, I don't know if it's just me, but whenever you're going for that final torque and you're pulling on that torque wrench and it seems like it's getting tighter and tighter, and then that nut moves, and you just feel your heart sink, thinking that you're fixing to break that stud or break that bolt. There were a couple of them in this sequence. Whenever I was torquing them down, I could have sworn they was fixing to break, and I didn't know how I felt. I really did not want to pull this head back off to go and get a dang broke stud out. But everything went smoothly. Just followed the torque procedure and just kept getting sweated down by that dang sauna caused by that rain. Man, absolutely ridiculous. Alright, y'all, we got the head torqued thanks to my little paper diagram of how it goes. I don't know if y'all can tell, but it's raining outside, so it's pretty humid up in the shop, if y'all can't tell. But next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and pin the block. I'm gonna go ahead and pin it so it's top dead center, and we're gonna start running our valves. Alright, so take this as a little word to the wise. Make sure that your pin for pinning the cam gear, make sure it's not stuck, because I was pushing on that little pin for probably 2 or 3 rotations and said, surely, I've been going slow enough. Surely it's not stuck or anything like that. I mean, surely it's going to fall in. I haven't been going that fast to miss the hole. And I went and grabbed a pry bar, and lo and behold, it was stuck up in that little hole. And finally got it to move and be able to pin it so we can actually run these dang valves, man. I'm telling you, that just... if it can happen, it's going to happen to me. It's just how it's wound up, how it's just going to be, man. I don't really know what else to say about that. It just seems like anytime something bad can happen, it's going to happen to me. But y'all see here, I am marking the balancer, so I will know whenever I hit 360 degrees, so I will be able to set the other set of valves, because you do it in a sequence. You roll it, pin it, set a certain number of valves, unpin, roll it 360, set the rest of them. It's fairly self-explanatory, and it's super easy, super easy. Anybody can do it, really. You just gotta kind of know what you're doing and kind of get your feel for it. But let's go ahead and get set up over on these valves. You'll see I've got some assembly lube there. I'm going to be using that after I run the valves. I've run a lot of valves on cats, on big cats, and always found that they chatter a lot after a fresh rebuild. And so you want to go and put some oil on your rockers, like after you set them, because if you set them without oil, you get a better feel, better drag, and you don't have that film getting in the way from your true reading. Y'all see me struggling right here on this intake valve. So anytime you have oil or anything like that anywhere in your push rod assembly, your push rod, your rocker arm, on your valve stem is going to give you a false reading while you're trying to run your valves. And y'all will see later, as I'm running through the valves, y'all see me sit there and work that adjustment screw. All I'm doing is just making sure that the adjustment screw is set, everything is set in there, and you get a true reading. Because it takes 2 or 3 times for you to get a true reading, besides with the oil being up in there. But once we run these valves, once I run this set of valves, y'all can see I have them marked with a paint pen. We are going to take some assembly lube and we're going to put them right there on top of the valve stem, just to make sure that we don't have any dry starts, we don't have any clattering and anything like that. But if y'all have never set valves on a 12 valve Cummins, our intake is going to be 10 thousandths and our exhausts are going to be 20 thousandths. You want to get around that number. Now, it's all by feel. I have a heavy drag whenever I use feeler gauges or anything like that. I have micrometers, anything. I have a heavy drag, but I feel like a heavy drag kind of gives you a good guess as to what it is. Not necessarily forcing it in there or clamping it down or anything like that, but making sure that you make good solid contact and you're not hitting any dust or debris. You get all that out of the way. But anyways, we're just going through running the rack. Just pretty simple. You'll see I've got all the holes covered up. I've got all my injector holes covered, and I've got my intake holes covered, just to make sure, by odd chance, last video, shout out, we don't have anything fall into these holes and really ruin our day and really ruin the pace that we're trying to set while we're doing this job. But here soon, we are getting done with our last valve on this set. We are fixing to go ahead and roll it over. Don't forget the assembly lube. Haha, I almost forgot that. But we're fixing to go ahead and roll it 360 degrees to hit the other 6 valves. And it'll just be rinse and repeat after that, man. Nothing serious, nothing too hard. I mean, it is something that people can mess up, but it is fairly straightforward. And you take your time, you'll do just fine with it. But yeah, only thing I would have to say, any advice I'd have to give while running valves is just make sure that you have a good hold on your Allen wrench for your adjustment screw while you're tightening down the nut. Make sure that that adjustment screw doesn't move, so you don't have to loosen it back up and then get your feel in. Y'all will see that on some of these I have to loosen it up because that adjustment screw moved just very, very slightly, because the nut actually was, the threads on the nut were actually catching on the adjustment screw. But oh well, I'll go ahead and be quiet, let y'all finish watching this, and I'll catch up with y'all later. Alright, y'all. Well, as y'all seen, we got the head torque, got the valves run. Y'all kind of notice in the video there were a couple certain spots where the video kind of cut out in the middle of me doing work. I was fighting storage space really bad, and wasn't able to get it resolved until the next day, which is why I'm doing the outro now, and I did the intro today. But I just kind of wanted to explain. I made the mistake of recording one of my other videos in 4K, and it took up quite a bit of space. Took up like 24 gigs. Absolutely ridiculous. So obviously I didn't record this one in 4K. It's just in regular HD. But yeah, well, we got it run. Next thing we got to do is just keep working on it, keep building it up, get it ready to run. So hope y'all enjoyed. Hope y'all stay tuned for this build. I'm gonna need y'all support. So thanks, guys. See ya.